snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing a book haul. I know I only just did one a few days ago, but I may have gone to London where my dad lives and he may have given me some money to get some more books. Well, to get whatever I liked, but obviously I spent it on books. So I went into Waterstones and I got a few books in there, and then I also went to some charity shops up in London and got a few books in there. So I'll just show you guys everything that I got. So the first book that I really wanted to get was Gardens of the Moon by Stephen Erikson. This book is the first one in the Tale of the Malazan of the Fallen series, which is by Stephen Erikson. This, I think, is a 10-book long series. It's quite thick, they're quite chunky books. This one is around 700 pages, so it's fairly long, as always with fantasy series, but I've heard really, really good things about this, and I'm definitely excited to get onto this as soon as I possibly can, because I know that it's meant to be really, really good and really enjoyable and fun. So if you know anything more about this, definitely let me know. So it's hard to describe what this is really about. It just kind of sounds like a typical fantasy world, and this one is probably more of a setting up the world story, but I'm really excited about it. So I'll read you a little bit off the back of it. Bled dry by the indeterminable warfare, infighting and bloody confrontations with Lord Anomander Rake, the Malazan Empire simmers with discontent. However, the Empire is not alone in this great game. Sinister forces are gathering as the gods themselves prepare to play their hand. So it sounds like a really good fantasy story, as always, and it sounds like there's going to be a lot of battle, a lot of epic fighting, a lot of just everyone kind of crossing over with each other. I'm not sure if there's magic in this or not. It said sorceress, so I'm going to assume that there is magic. I don't know if it's kind of classic magic or if it's a new twist. I always love it when it's a new twist on magic, but I'm definitely really, really excited about this, and I think it'll be a really, really good read. So definitely let me know if you know anything more about this series, if you read it, if you enjoyed it, because I really, really want to start this. Maybe in May, that'll be the time. We shall have to see. So the next book that I got in Waterstones is another first one in a series. This one's only a trilogy this time, so it's not quite as huge as that series, but this one is called The Way of Shadows, and this is by Brent Weeks. And this is the first one in the Night Angel trilogy. So I've heard really, really good things about Brent Weeks. Every time anyone talks about him in any of their videos, it sounds amazing and he sounds like a really good writer. I know that some people have compared him to Sanderson and other people like that, so I'm definitely interested in what he's got to offer to the fantasy genre. And I really like the cover of this. It seems like it's kind of spooky, but I love this sort of wispiness here because I think that that makes it really, really gorgeous. And I think that the whole thing is just going to be a really fun read. So from what I gather, this seems to be kind of an assassination story all about assassins, which sounds really cool because the only other one that I've read about assassins is the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J Maas, which I really enjoyed, but it's YA and it's not really high fantasy. So it is a really good series, but hopefully this will improve upon that or extend upon that and definitely go into more detail about it all, because that one doesn't focus so much on the assassin side, whereas this one seems to be all about assassins, and I really am interested in this, so it sounds good. And definitely, again, let me know if you have read this or if you want to read this, because I'm really interested in picking it up very, very soon. I'm really happy with these books that I bought and I just want to get to all of them right now. So the next book that I have is The Beating of His Wings by Paul Hoffman, and this is book 3 in the Left Hand of God series, which I have read the first book of, and I own the second book, The Last Four Things, so I'm really excited to now be able to finish off the series because I now have all 3 in that series, and they all look like they're going to be really, really good. It's about a young guy called Thomas Cale who grows up in a sanctuary. It's supposed to be really holy and caring and loving, but in actuality it's really harsh. It's a very horrible place for a young boy to grow up. They get beaten all of the time. The accolades are really, really badly treated by the masters who work there, and it's just a very, very gruesome start to life and horrible start to life. But Thomas Kail kind of defies all the odds and he becomes kind of a leader of all of the acolytes. He is definitely the one who's going to save the world in this series, so I'm really interested to see how book 2 and 3 kind of continue on from that, because I know that in the first book I absolutely loved it and I have no idea why I never carried on with the series because I read it a while ago, but I'm really interested in again picking these two up very, very soon. So hopefully this will not happen in the too distant future. Definitely let me know if you have read this series. If you haven't, I've never really heard anyone talk about it that much, but I would highly recommend this series because I really enjoyed it, and if you don't mind a little bit of religion being thrown in, then it's definitely a really, really wonderful read, and it kind of shows you all the twisted way that religion can be interpreted and the things that can go wrong with religion when people don't really practice what they preach. So it was a really, really good read and I would highly, highly recommend this series to you guys. So the next book that I have is Dreamless by Josephine Angelini. This is book 2 in the Star-Crossed series. I think it's a trilogy, I'm not entirely sure. I do have the first one, I showed you guys this in my TBR Shane video, and when I saw this in the charity shop for £1, I couldn't pass it up because I already have this one in the same edition and they look really beautiful. I don't really know anything about the story except that it's two people who come from different factions or tribes or something like that, and both of their tribes hate each other, but they fall in love and it's kind of their trials and how they get through that, I suppose. Kind of reminds me of Romeo and Juliet. I'm not really sure if it'll be anything like that, but I'm really excited about this series and I think it'll be absolutely wonderful. So definitely let me know if you have read this series or if you want to read this series and what you thought of it if you did read it, because I think it's YA and I'm excited to get onto it sometime soon. I'm not as desperate about this series at the moment because I just don't know enough about it. I've never really heard anything about it. So definitely do let me know if you want me to read this very, very soon, because otherwise it'll probably slip back down my TBR for a while because I've got so many books. And the final book that I got in my haul, again this one is also from the charity shop, is Fever, which is by Lauren Di Stefano. And I believe that this is book 3 in the Chemical Garden trilogy. I have the first 2. They're back at my uni house, so I can't show you guys them now. But again, this is meant to be a good series. I know a lot of people rave about this series, so I'm definitely interested to get onto this fairly soon. I don't really know what this series is about, so if you guys know, let me know, because I don't have the first one and the second one here. So I can't read the blurb of this one because I don't want to spoil it for myself. So if you do know what this is about, definitely let me know so that I know whether I should start this when I go back to uni, which is only going to be in a few weeks. So yeah, definitely let me know about this series. So these are all of the books that I got in my haul. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and definitely let me know which book you're most excited about seeing me review and reading, and if you've read any of them, let me know all about that because I'm really interested in what you guys have to say. And thank you guys for watching. I will see you all in my next video. Bye! Me and you gonna have a little chat.